Hello. Moon's Aries. Aries, here is part 2 of your love reading for June. Aries, do check out the main reading that I did for June. You can find it just by looking for Aries Love Tarot, whatever this video is called. The same front part, first part. June 2025. There has the general message on love along with water signs. If you're curious about your compatibility, your forecast with all water signs, Pisces, Scorpio, and Cancer, along with Aquarius. You'll find it there. I got tired while doing that video. Aries. So I'm here to go and continue that second part. Oh, thank you for the like. This part, we were going to just pick up on where we left off. So since we started off with air before, we're going to do Gemini, Libra, and then the earth and fire signs. Hello, Zara. Nice to see you. Hello, hello. So let's go and check out what is in there for Aries. I was like Pisces. For Aries. This is for anyone with significant Aries energy. Aries sun, Aries moon, Aries rising, Aries first house. Do you have significant or a lot of planets in Aries energy? Think about where your Aries placements are. Definitely if you have an Aries Venus in an Aries 7th house, and or could be also an Aries Jupiter. I would also say too, Saturn placements, seeing how Aries has entered into Saturn and will be there for a couple of months. Anyway, go and think about how you feel about Aries energy and where it sits in your chart. If you feel it relates to matters of the heart, and when I say the heart, I mean the pink chakra energy. Not necessarily that of passion or of lust, but of care, understanding, empathy. The kind of energy that shares both in all forms of love, all the basic root foundation of love, friendship, romantic love. Hello, animal fan. Those places. So let's go and see. And thank you everyone for the likes. So the first sign we'll start off with is Gemini. Gemini for Aries. That Gemini, this also, if you know the person, you may meet the person. If you know the person, you may or may not be in contact. And if you meet the person, completely new person. So that's those kind of energies as well. So a Gemini for Aries, if you know a Gemini, if you meet a Gemini. I have 7 of Pentacles, 4 of Cups, Page of Wands. If you know of a Gemini, Aries, that Gemini is busy right now. That Gemini has certain things they need to let go of, certain things they need to go and organize, and they're wondering exactly how to do that. Gemini has a bit of spring cleaning, house cleaning to do before they involve themselves with anyone. Seriously. Before they involve themselves with anyone seriously. There could be distractions, but ultimately, Gemini is going to be heads down in thought, also independent thought. I'd give Gemini space. When Gemini sorts everything out, they'll have a much clearer sense of direction, and they'll be able to also interact authentically in the moment rather than a distracted focus. Aries, if you are dealing with a Libra, if you meet a Libra, for Aries, I have King of Wands, Two of Pentacles, Five of Swords. If you're dealing with a Libra, Libra really likes to be in control, perhaps a little too much. Libra is very excited, but Libra also needs to learn to step it back a little bit. Perhaps too, Libra could be so excited that they could have a heavy-handed approach. In other words, it could not be intentional. It could just be so excited that they should step back when they should have an easier, softer approach than I feel Libra does. If you're dealing with a Libra, though, expect some, if you are also a dominant personality, Aries, there could be a little bit of friction there, a little bit of competition, because Libra will naturally want to steer the relationship. And it's a very heavy-handed type of energy. Also, too, let me say, Libra is interested in, well, I already said steering it in the direction they want. But it's also like a testament to both Libra's ability and also to how much you would like Libra. That's how they would measure it. There's also something a little off with why they'd want you to follow their lead. Not smooth energy at all. Aries, if you're dealing with a fellow Aries, for Aries, Aries you may know, Aries you may meet. I have Page of Cups. Tower. If you meet, okay, if you've been dealing with an Aries, a fellow Aries, if you've been dealing with a fellow Aries, things should be going along quite well. Maybe Aries hasn't really spoken about any sort of true one-on-one commitment, but I see the energy here, if you've been dealing with Aries, quite nice. I do think if you've been dealing with an Aries, Aries is going to want to go and take it to the next level. You have a good surprise in store for you if you're dealing with a fellow Aries. If you meet an Aries, I think that Aries is out and about for companionship, and they have a very popular social scene going on. However, that also doesn't change the energy here. If you meet an Aries, that something very special can go and bond. A bond could form with Aries in which, I see the possibilities of commitment here. Commitment, getting to know you much, much better. Energy between you and Aries is hot. And there's no indication. Sometimes people say, it'll start off hot and it'll cool off. I'm not seeing that there. I'm just seeing the temperature rising, the excitement building. But it's a good energy, very exciting, very forward building. Aries, if you have a Sagittarius on your mind, or if you meet a Sagittarius, I have death. Sagittarius is on the move. Sagittarius is on the move. If you have a Sagittarius on your mind, Sagittarius is on the move. For some reason, Sagittarius has a very unsettled heart. Sagittarius could also be rearranging what it is that they seek in home, they seek in their own life, they seek in the people around them. Sagittarius is restless, and Sagittarius, if Sagittarius is actively moving around now, making big changes, Sagittarius will be. Sagittarius is in the energy to start making really big changes if they haven't already. If you know of a Sagittarius, Sagittarius should not be touched at this point. And if you meet a Sagittarius, that Sagittarius is in the energy of meeting people and deciding what it is they want, what direction they want to go in, not at all yet the direction to settle down, because Sagittarius's heart is far too unsettled. And if you're looking for something, Aries, that you can count on, someone you can count on, and I'm not talking about a ring on the finger, I'm talking about someone who truly cares about you as a person, in the fact that, are you doing well or not? Could they contribute? Could they build happiness with you? Right? Happiness is a friend. Happiness is someone who cares. I feel like Sagittarius's heart is far too unsettled to provide that, if that's what you're looking for as well. So I would say Sagittarius's energy should be hands off right now, unless you're fine with an interesting conversation or an interesting moment that may or may not be repeated again. Aries, is a Leo on your mind? Will you meet a Leo? Leo's energy towards you, Aries, Ace of Cups, Knight of Pentacles, Queen of Swords. If you're dealing with a Leo, so practical. Aries, if you're dealing with a Leo, what practical people you are. Whatever it is that Leo wants, whatever it is that you want. Lots of common ground here with that Leo, Aries. Very interesting energy, very cool, refreshing energy. I'm going to say this is refreshing. If you meet a Leo, if you're dealing with a Leo, I rather like this energy, Aries. So level-headed. And it's like no blockages at all. No hang-ups at all, nothing to go and work out, no insecurities. This is actually really, really nice energy. This feels refreshing. Anything can be built in this energy, regardless of what's going on right now back with Leo, regardless of what's going on with you. Feels like everything that you'd like to go and have and everything you'd like to go and work out is possible with a Leo. You and Leo are just the other hand that you need. Like, you got one hand, you got two hands with Leo. You got some fingers, you got more fingers, you got a thumb with Leo, okay? That's the kind of energy that Leo has Very nice energy. We all need energy like an Aries and a Leo. Let's go and see. I believe we have Earth left, right? Let's go and see Capricorn. A Capricorn for Aries, a fellow cardinal sign. If you meet a Capricorn, if you're dealing with a Capricorn. Page of Swords. Just curious. Was that a Seven of Swords in the bottom of the deck energy? It could have been. First of all, I'm going to say Capricorn. Capricorn's movements are coming from either a place of, I'm not going to say desperation, but it's coming from a place that they feel they have to act now. For some reason, Capricorn feels like they're on a time limited schedule. Capricorn has urgency. Also, too, Capricorn's patient. Well, urgency means they don't have any patience. Yeah, Capricorn is down to the wire in some way. Aries, do you know a Capricorn? Do you know a Capricorn that's significant to you, Aries? Because what I have here is all about that Capricorn doesn't want to lose the connection that you have with you, and they know they have to make some significant movements towards you. Now they're ready to do that. Perhaps they should have done that a lot sooner, or a lot more, put a lot more effort into it. In this energy, Aries, it's like Capricorn knows that either they lost you or they're losing you, and there's no second chances. Capricorn has to pull out all the stops for you, Aries. Capricorn's energy is a little desperate here. Very strong. The strength is brought on by a fear of loss, a desire to keep what they have, what they had with you, what they had built so far with you. If you meet a Capricorn, Capricorn's attention came back. So Capricorn could make this is better than it actually is. They're more interested than they actually are, than they intend to be. But that is really just a front, because Capricorn distractions. Ultimately, Capricorn is hung up on something from the past. Could be also too, Aries. Let me go and say, if you meet a Capricorn, you could remind Capricorn of something from the past, and you could inspire nostalgia towards something else. Either way, not too fond with Capricorn's energy. Mainly because Capricorn's energy is not transparent, especially if you haven't been dealing with a Capricorn. It's almost like Aries dealing with a Capricorn is going to make the Capricorn turn around and go back. Aries, if you're dealing with a Virgo, if a Virgo is on your mind, if you meet a Virgo, that Virgo towards you. I have Ace of Swords, Four of Wands. Four of Wands, which by the way is Aries energy. I have Empress. Well, Virgo loves you. Virgo goes, oh, wow. Aries, 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 Aries. Aries, 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 Aries. Aries, 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 all day Aries, Aries, Aries. I've been looking for Aries so much. Aries, 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 Aries. An angel has come down from the earth to grace me. That's what Virgo is going to think. Let me just look behind that other one. If you've been dealing with a Virgo Aries, I do wonder if that Virgo has been in the midst of transformation while you've been meeting them. Virgo's been trying to be a very specific type of person, trying to walk a very specific type of path. Maybe Virgo is taking their time before expressing any sort of real interest. You've been feeling interest or they've been saying interest. But anyway, know that Virgo, if you've been dealing with a Virgo, Virgo has been a slow and steady fire, gaining heat and altitude. But if you meet a Virgo, know that Virgo is going to be completely smitten with you. And there should be nothing holding Virgo back from making that known to you. Virgo is love at first sight. You should be able to have a really, really strong pull on Virgo. Virgo is like, in their eyes, Aries, you are a superstar. Superstar Aries. You walk and rainbows and glitter and something else equally as powerful as rainbows and glitter follow you. Flowers sprout, Aries, where you walk. Perfume scents the air. The sun clears and the stars shine. You get the idea. Birds sing. Anyway. And the final sign is Taurus. Virgo. Taurus. Oh, what Taurus? Aries. Aries, if you're dealing with, actually, you know what? I'm going to call the tinctures on that because I feel very giddy. You're going to make Virgo giddy. Okay. Give me a second. Aries, if you're dealing with a Taurus, if you meet a Taurus, that Taurus towards you, Aries, a Taurus for Aries. Hermit. Is that the lovers back there? I did not notice at all. Anyway, Four of Wands. Four of Wands, which is Aries energy. If you're dealing with a Taurus, Taurus is almost being a little sulky. Taurus doesn't want to open themselves up. Taurus is fascinated by you. Taurus feels a pull about you, but Taurus, it feels like, well, Aries should be the one to go and express themselves. Aries should be the one to blah, blah, blah. Aries should do. Taurus, Aries wants to be sought out. Taurus wants to be, is the word chased? I don't know if the word is chased, but Taurus definitely wants special treatment from you, Aries. And if Taurus doesn't get that special treatment from you, then Taurus is going to feel like, oh, well, it's only me. It's only me, and as if I'll be the only one who feels this way. In that energy, if you go and make the appropriate gestures and words towards a Taurus. Taurus will warm up to you, much like a pony getting an apple, but it is a little sulky energy. Of course, some people are like that. Sometimes we're all like that. But for Taurus, if you are expecting a Taurus to make their way over to you, no way will that Taurus make their way over to you. Even if their heart is breaking in two, Taurus will not make their way over to you. Even if their heart is breaking in two, Taurus will not even give you any looks or indication of that, because Taurus wants you to make all the overtures. If you are waiting on a Taurus, Aries, in that energy, you can wait forever. Even as Taurus's heart goes, ouchie, ouchie, I'm unloved. It was only me. But yes, you need to go make the overtures if you're interested in a Taurus. All right, well, that is what I see for the remainder of Aries love. Aries, thank you so much for the likes. Aries, if you're interested about the water signs and Aquarius, do check out part 1 of this video. And you can also check out the general reading on love. I guess I could put it in the comments later. We'll see. But you could also search for it on my channel. I would just look for Aries Love Tarot. Or you could put Aries June 2025. Thank you so much for your time today. Leave me a like if you appreciate my time and are interested in seeing a reading similar to this being done for July. I'll be around. If anyone has any questions for a little bit before I close the live down. And of course, if anyone has any questions outside of this, you can catch me on a live. Typically, I will not interrupt the collective readings that I do for personal readings, but if you want to wait until I'm done, I can take readings after, or in terms of if I'm doing something that has multiple signs, just wait till I'm finished with that sign. Till the next time. Bye-bye. Hello, HS. Yes, I do have kitties. They're eating right now. Are you a cat fan? They are eating. They're eating cat food together with canned chicken. So a little bit of conventional food, a little bit of human food. Oh, really? Oh, you must send me pictures. Send me pictures through my email if you can. I would love to see. I love kitties. Well, I have the three of them. They really like food. And the gray and white one, he eats anything that is food. Like he'll eat a banana, he'll eat peanut butter, he'll eat an asparagus. And the rest of them, well, one of them, my little girl, she likes to eat, and he has to be seasoned. Oh, how wonderful. Oh, how wonderful. You found them yesterday and you took them home. That's beautiful. Yeah, send me pictures because I love kitty cats. I love all types of cats. I love big cats. I love little cats. I love black cats. I love spotted cats. I love all types of cats. And tell me their names too. What's the girl's name and what's the boy's name? And how did you find them? Ah, you're going to have kittens. Well, then you definitely have to send me pictures. Nothing more I love too than little kitten photos. Oh, what cute names. Very cute names. You know, initially with my Siamese, I got both the Siamese, they're both fully intact. I got both the Siamese with plans of breeding them. And I waited 5 years before getting the boy, but they never had kittens. Oh, that's so nice of you. Yeah, so I mean, both of them are purebred. They have all their papers, blah blah. And I was planning on breeding them and also keeping. I was thinking first initially I keep all the kittens, and then maybe I keep most of the kittens. But number one, they never had kittens, and also too, I do think with the Siamese that I have, they're so loud and they're so annoying. Literally, they between 11 to 5 a.m. they scream all night. And I don't know many people who I think could go and sacrifice their sleep. Like, can you handle something meowing at you because they want you up, they want to eat, without necessarily going, oh, this is too much for me, I'm just going to get rid of it? And they are, but I feel like mine are particularly loud. You know, I want to make sure that too, if they ever did have kittens, that the people would understand, they would be fine with a cat talking at them all the time. It is like a baby. They talk when they're happy, they grumble, they back talk, they cry, they call, they do all these sounds every 2 seconds. You can't shut them up. And then they all have their particularly annoying voices, like all the different, they have rumbles. I think a lot of my readings, you hear some of their cries too, the cries, the talks. They say a bunch of things. But I just think that that's the one caveat I would say to anybody thinking of a Siamese. Are you fine with lots of noise? Really? Was it just the purring or the way that they were talking? Oh, the purring. Oh, that's so cute. You know, it's funny too with the fact that I started off in my household with Siamese and then I picked up the 2 domestic cats. All my cats talk now. So you have one Siamese in the household, and then you get other cats. All your cats will will just talk, 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 talk. That's also another thing. They all think they're Siamese. Yes, it's cute. You know, right before that too, when I first got before I got my second Siamese, I had a Maine Coon to start, and Maine Coons trill. I can't I can't copy the sound that they do, but they do it. They chirp and they trill. They literally chirp. And for the first 2 or 3 years, my Siamese girl, she didn't do any meows. She just chirped. And they are somebody. I was living in a place and I complained about the rodents, and it was flying squirrels. It was a flying squirrel infestation. And the owner put in tomcat rat poison without telling me. She had her handyman come to do a routine checkup, she said, and he put rat poison all over the place, and my cat ate it. That's how I lost him. Yeah, I have 2 Siamese, and then I have 2 Mogies, just domestics. I have a calico and I have a gray and white. Isn't that? You got to be so careful. If you are not in control of your space, or if you move to a new place, you have to be so careful to check everywhere. I'm so sorry. I'm sorry you lost your little puppies. Well, how did you get the girl? If you found the boy and you picked him up, how did you get the girl? Oh, horrible. And such a baby, too. Ah, you got a little. Well, that's awesome. That really is awesome that you got 2 little kitties, 2 kitties that have a home, that have a home. That's wonderful. That's very beautiful. Yes. Oh, you know, it's funny. There's so many people that you can't really judge like who would be a good pet owner or not. Like I know people who have, you know, several houses and they have their several cars and stable jobs, blah blah, and they go through pets like vapor, or they go like, you know, even just like, you know, maybe they're students and they just go through, they're like, oh, it's no longer convenient, they're in a relationship, oh, I'm moving, no longer convenient, and they just drop that animal. Oh, something happens, I'm just going to open up the door and let them go out. There's so many people that have that sort of very flaky energy towards animals, and you can't really judge. I know, and you can't really judge like going, oh, you know, a person who will take care of something should have these qualifications or be this type of person, because literally you can have everything and not care about animals, and you can have also nothing, and you could be fiercely devoted to that animal. Like I know this woman who doesn't really have a place to be, and she has a cat. She has a little cat that she keeps on her backpack. stuff has been going on for her. And she's just there with her cat, and nothing is taking her cat from her. Mm. Yeah, there was another woman who I met, and she recently got displaced. She was undergoing eviction. She had 2 little girls or 3 little girls, like between 5 and younger, or 7 and younger, and she had 2 cats, and she was there like, no one's taking my babies, my kids, or my cats. She was literally down to nothing but her kids and her pets. She was fiercely determined not to give up anything that was alive. It was amazing. That's too much that she was telling you she didn't want to sell you a cat. It is, and that's what I mean. Like, you can't really judge someone's commitment towards family, true family. Yeah, cats are definitely not only a blessing, but they're also healing as well. A little bit of vitamins. Oh, I love them too. I love the way they sniff. I love their little paws. I love the way they act. I love when they're good. I love when they're bad. There's something about cats that just thrill me. They don't even have to be good cats. Yeah, there's something just about like all the cat behavior that is very so nice. In Once I lived in a place in Miami, and they had a whole bunch of stray cats there. Nope, no, the job market still sucks. The job market still sucks. I have people who I've been in contact with now since last fall. Someone from last fall cycled back to me. I guess the person they were dealing with didn't work out. It's just tiring. And then on top of that, everything is so expensive. People don't want to pay money, and the price of food, the price of housing, everything is so expensive. But anyway, just taking it one step at a time. How are you doing? What kind of work do you do? Oh, it really is, and it's going up. I'm a vegan, and right now my blender is in storage. And I went to the store to go and look at the price of cartons of soy milk. And in the local store, it's not even a health food store, they raised up the price of soy milk to something like $4. Oh, I see. I know, $4 for like a little, I don't know what it is, the liter size, when they're like the small little size. $4. I think this is the brand. That is $4 in the store. Before it was 3 something and now it's 4. They raised it up like yeah, well that's $4 and before it was 3 something and now it's 4 something. And they raised up the price of spinach. All these, and just a little amount too. But whatever. No space to have the victory garden, and the prices are just insane. Nothing more I can say than that. Well, if I had my blender, yes, I do make cat accessories. Really? I make, like here's one that my cat's no longer wearing. Oh, I would love to go and make your little cat harness. You can go and give me the dimensions. And I can definitely go and make one up. These are some of the harnesses. 2 of my cats have harnesses and 2 of them don't right now. So they're not washed or anything. But yeah, so I have Velcro. I have little snaps. I just put it this way so it's more comfortable when I put them on in the house. But this goes around like that so they don't slip out as well. And it's adjustable. And this goes around the waist. Or again, if you don't need it there. I usually use a tiny one. Sometimes I use slightly bigger. And of course, sometimes I do little masculine patterns. And sometimes I do more feminine with the flowers. And this I test them too. These are made, make all of them out of denim. So this is white denim and this is like a khaki denim. So it's all 100% cotton except for these, the bands that I use, which are just basically nylon, like high quality nylon that you could use for camping stuff. Like it could withstand a lot of weight, just because it's durable. So it's washable, it's durable, and also too with my cats, sometimes I clip the nails, but typically I don't. Especially if I'm taking them outside, I think let them have their nails. I mean, you don't know, right? And also too, with my cats, I have them trained to the shoulder. So I like to know that I could just put on a sweater, put them on my sweater, my shoulder, and they'll just hook on by themselves. I don't have to hold them or worry about them getting off. And with the denim, even with their nails, when they scratch, like it doesn't fray that much. And this particular harness, by the way, this harness I made in 2023. So everything that I make, everything that I try and make, I make it so that it lasts. And it's also something I believe in. I believe that you should buy something and it should last for a really long time. Yeah, so this is 2023 and all in 2023, by the way, I was staying in residence at a New Age center. I was outside in a little cabin in the woods. So I never took this off of my cats for like 10 months. 10 months they had this on because I was worried they would get out. I was in such a small space and I was literally out in the woods. So this is also, not only is it 2 years old, but it's been worn a whole lot. Exactly. I really just, I don't believe in that. So I use really strong, sturdy material, even with their nails. As I said, even with their nails. And then I stitch it together. I quilt it. So these are 2 layers. I mean, they're really, really durable stuff. This will last for a very long time. Even if your cat is there constantly picking at it with their nails 100% grown, they still will not go, and you'll have at least a year with it. I can promise you that, at least a year. Because I have another cat too that, particularly the moment you put a leash on him, he starts trying to tear it away. And with the denim that I use and how I stitch it together, I use 2 layers of denim. It will not come off and it will not be damaged. And probably too, let me say this, the only reason why you'll there want a new one is just because it will look frayed, but it still will be intact. I don't have a picture of the old one. I have that in storage. Of one of my Siamese male, he went through and he just constantly was there using his hind legs on it. But that was still intact too. Yeah, with the oh, thank you. With the harnesses, I was also experimenting with how to go and make sure that they could keep it on. I mean, I spent a lot of time on this when I said I do cat accessories. I've been making cat accessories, trying to think. If I started in 2000, I started a while. Did I start maybe, I could have started 2017. Definitely around 2018. I've been making cat accessories for a really, really long time. And one of the things that I've been doing as well is with the accessories that I make, the way that I make it, when you're not really worried about where they're going, you can adjust. You know, you can give them a little bit more breathing room. I mean, even the fact that you could take this and flip it above the neck. But then when you're worried that they're going to be leaving, you can make that super snuggles and they will not get out. I mean, you can make this really, really tight, really, really tight, you know, sharpen that up. There's no way they're getting out of this. And the same thing you can do with the waist. It cinches them in. You can get it as tight as possible. You just want to make sure that their elbows, right, that elbow bone, that's the main way that they get out. Somehow their elbow bone, they do something like right here and they squeeze out. And as long as you cinch this part so that elbow bone remains right out here, they can't squeeze out. Yeah, it's like they fold their arms in and then they go poof. So that's why with this, when you cinch these in, You make that tight enough, then they can't get out. And the nice thing too that I like about the design that I finally came up with is that with what I have, because all of mine are different sizes. Some are big, some are little, some are skinny, some have fat bellies, some are little with fat bellies. Depending on how much I feed them, right? They all eat differently. Some are big with big bellies, some are petite with big bellies or no bellies, etc. Their weight fluctuates all the time. So it can handle those fluctuations. Haven't made biscuits yet. Well, they will. When they get the feeling of it. I think it changes with them. It definitely changes with me. The most problematic thing I have with feeding is my gray and white cat. He eats too fast. If I give him a normal meal, he'll eat that all up and he'll puke it 2 seconds later. So I have to give him little amounts all throughout the day. And it has to literally be a small enough amount that he won't puke it, which sometimes can be just a pinch of food. She'll eat if you. What's good to go and encourage a cat to eat? Look up nutritional yeast, not brewer's yeast, nutritional yeast. Cats really develop a taste for nutritional yeast. You can find it. You can get a bag of it from last I recall. The best price to get not brewer's yeast, nutritional yeast was online on Frontier. If you went online to Amazon, Frontier Herbs, you could find nutritional yeast at the best price. Yeah, it's something that you add to food. People add it to their own food. It's a seasoning, but it's also high in vitamin B. It's all the B vitamins. And not only will they love the taste of it, it kind of tastes a little buttery. In vegan recipes and vegetarian recipes, people use nutritional yeast sometimes as a substitute for the cheese taste. Sure, what's your question? Yeah, nutritional yeast is like a human condiment, a human amendment to food. Yes. Well, there's also natural dewormers too. Eat the animal dewormers. I don't know about that so much. I'm really a proponent of natural dewormers, and the best dewormer you could go and get is raw garlic. Raw garlic. With raw garlic, you could even give it to cats too. There's opposing schools of thought whether or not you can give cats garlic or not. I've given all my cats garlic, and they've all lived to long ages. So when it comes to the cats with the raw garlic, you literally have to go first. If you have a blender, you can blend a little bit in, and you put just a smidgen. And I mean a smidgen. Like if I was to go and put any sort of amount, 1 second, let me see if I have any. I don't have any dirt as an example, but I would say like if take raw garlic, you have to introduce the smell of it. And I would just take like the little bit of a pinch, like just enough if I was putting it in my nail. Like maybe that's too big of a nail. If I was gonna put it, well, actually I'd say it would be fine. My nail isn't that long, right? It's little. But I would say just take a smidgen, a pinch of garlic and put that into the food just so they smell it. And first you have them just get acquainted to the fact they're eating the food with the garlic. Make a little garlic paste, mince it up very, very finely, and right, but very, very little because you want them to get used to the smell, right? Anything that's different is going to throw them off. So you have to go and put just a little bit in there so they smell it. And then you have to gradually increase it. Gradually increase the garlic. During flea season and also too in warmer climates, I've been able to go and give my cats so much garlic, their breath smells like garlic. But you know, it's also good too for natural dewormers, and this is completely safe. Turmeric. That spice or turmeric, depending on how you want to say it. You can give them, look for organic turmeric. Right. And you can, that is a natural dewormer as well. And it doesn't really have that much of a notable taste. You can go and put that in with wet food and they'll eat that. Turmeric is a natural dewormer. Also, another natural dewormer is carrots. If you can grate carrots really finely, fresh carrots. If you can grate it or if you can blend it, make a carrot paste of raw, uncooked garlic, carrots. There's something not only about the fiber of carrots, but also the roughage. The roughage of carrots, and also carrots have these enzymes in them that makes the gut inhospitable to worms. So you could do turmeric and carrots, raw grated carrots. Create a paste of that, add it to wet food. And you can add as much as you want in that too. Well, with the carrots, you should actually go a little slow because carrots could cause, some roughage. I would add too, if you can, if you're going to put in carrots, pick up some coconut oil. You could also use olive oil. Yeah, I think if you're going to, when you start adding the carrots, if you add any significant amount, go and look online to see what they recommend. But as with anything, whenever you start introducing different types of food, you go slow. And then you think little bellies, little digestion, little amounts, and you build it up. But so do like a little research on that. But if you're going to use carrots, I would recommend it. I mean, you could put like a teaspoon into their food, but if you're going to add more than that, at first I would build it up, right? But I would also add a little bit of oil so that they can go and poop it out easier. Right. So I would do, depending if you do like more than a spoonful of carrot or so, or 2 spoonfuls of carrots, depending on the amount of food, raw carrot. I would add a little bit of, just a little bit of oil to it. Could be olive oil, could be coconut oil. Because you just want something that will also help. But be careful with the oil as well, because right, if you add too much oil, then you cause diarrhea. So you just want a little bit to aid, because you're adding roughage. You're adding that fiber, and that will the carrots add the roughage to push worms out, and they literally don't like the enzymes and juices and whatnot that's inside of fresh carrot. It's toxic to them. Right. So with the garlic is a surefire way to knock them out, but carrot and turmeric is much more gentler. And you know what you can also use too? Diatomaceous earth. Get the food grade kind. They have pool grade and they have food grade. You can get food grade diatomaceous earth. It's basically, yeah, it's crushed, like crushed shells essentially, and that also when you have it inside your gut, it shreds basically any all the worms inside of it. But get the food grade. And you can also eat that too. Everything that I'm listing, you could also, if you think you've been kissing cats too much, you can take that yourself as well for natural dewormers. Diatomaceous earth. If you just look up, I think if you can just look online with DIAMAT. I think you just put something like CIOUS. It doesn't matter if you spell it correctly or not. As soon as you start putting DIAMT and then add just acious earth at the end of it, it'll pop up. And there's a food grade and a pool grade. Make sure you get the food grade. It has to be the food grade, not the pool grade. Right. And that's also very good. And that stuff too, you could, I mean, all this stuff you could take and the cats can take. Any mammal could take it. And I think all that is much better than necessarily the poisons, because the poisons are so harsh too. And also too, with these sorts of dietary amendments that you add to the food, while for worm medicine, typical worm medicine, they kill the host and then you're supposed to do it again to kill the eggs. Right? They want you to go and do it in a couple of waves. And with this, you're adding this to your lifestyle. So your very body becomes inhospitable to the infections or to the worms. Yeah, that's what it is. That's what it is. You can even bake with it too. The diatomaceous earth, you can even bake with it. You can add it to smoothies, you can add it to soup. You can bake, you can put it into pancakes. It has a little bit of a gritty taste. It's nothing. All this stuff is like very neutral tasting too. And I would just say again, just be aware that when you're giving it to your pets, make sure they have extra water. Make sure you give it to them in wet food, because it could take some of the moisture off. And also just keep in mind, you don't want to add too much too soon, because you don't want them to get constipated. So you might want to just add just a little bit of oil. Yeah, just a little bit. You give them too much oil, they will just go to town right with that. So just a little bit of oil. Well, I would definitely try, if they are finicky with their food. If they're finicky with their food, get look up nutritional yeast. Nutritional yeast is a very tasty thing. You can, by the time we put it on the cat's food, they'll eat it up right away. You can put it on anything and they will eat it right away. And you could also eat it too. It's literally, when you look at online and you see people recommending vegan macaroni and cheese, they say like put lots of nutritional yeast on it for the cheesy taste. And then it's also a great health benefit to them. All your B vitamins are going to be there in nutritional yeast, which means that the cat's fur is going to be very, very soft, very, very shiny. Nutritional yeast, you're basically supercharging your cat's fur. Won't help with worms, but it will give them all the B vitamins and beautiful fur. Shedding? I don't really know what would reduce shedding other than combing them. I mean, in the summer, sometimes I do take my cats into the shower just to go and cool them off, like literally cool them off, because I don't have an AC. Thinking I'm going to get an AC, but then there are other things that come up that I need the money for more. So on the really hot times, I take them in the shower and I sit with them in the bath. And then I just, either use my hands or I get a lot of fur off that way. I don't really think there is anything specifically to reduce shedding other than combing. And if your cat doesn't like to be groomed, you could put them in the shower. You get the bath rather. They get a whole lot of water. A whole lot of fur that comes out just by them sitting in water and you petting them. But I'd also say with that, I've never gotten a cat to like the fact that they're in the body of water and I'm not. And when I say a bath, I mean they sit there for 15 minutes or 20 minutes or a half an hour in it. Yeah, I wouldn't say like a shower essentially, but a bath. And the way that I've always found that it works best, even though I've tried all sorts of ways, is if you get in there with them. You need to get in there with them. If you think, if you can clip your cat's nails before you do it, not as right before you do it, so they associate it with it, but clip their nails earlier and then put on a pair of blue jeans, fill up the tub, hop in there with the blue jeans, put your cats on the lap and sit down in the bathtub and see how they take it. And the way that I found is that they fight you if you wash them any other way. But if you get in there with them, sit in the water with them, you just get a lot of complaints. But any sort of biting that you could get, it is so much more mitigated when you're there with them in that water and talking to them, petting them, etc. Okay, sounds good. Bye-bye.